Guys, and thanks for watching our weather update on July 4th, 2023. It's American Independence Day, everyone. So, to anyone watching from the USA, happy Independence Day. I think that's it. Or you just say happy 4th of July. Whatever way you say it, you've my wishes of good luck, So starting off with the sunlight from wind.com, we can see we got a few showers that are dying off across the east, mainly dry and clear across the west. Radar shows it quite nicely. Some showers over the east, a few showers also across Donegal and Sligo, but otherwise we're largely dry. Met.ie radar shows the same thing, except that it also shows showers across the southwest in parts of Kerry. If we go through today's radar map, you can see that it was a showery day. Showers blossomed this morning across Galway, Clare, North Tipperary, Limerick, Cork, and Kerry, and they intensified and got more widespread as they wore on. At lunch, by midday, a few showers were becoming heavy across Tipperary, and at around 1 o'clock, some big showers formed around Wexford and New Ross, and they merged to form a line of showers. Some very intense colours there, some oranges even, and those crosses do show lightning strikes. So there were some thunderstorms across South Wexford early this afternoon. They cleared off. They were just to the south of where I was. And meanwhile, the showers across the Midlands definitely got heavier and pushed further eastwards. As you can see, they got really quite heavy there and widespread across Ulster and North Leinster and North Connacht there across around mid-afternoon. Also over the Midlands here between like Louth and Offaly and across the southeast as well. And we went through the afternoon. A few more thunderstorms observed across Ulster, North Leinster, and also across the southeast. Then we just go through into the evening, and we see the showers across the southeast quite heavy, but also majorly so across the northwest. Well, I say around South Ulster and also into Northwest Leinster and off into East Connacht as well. Some big downpours there. Some more strikes observed across North Leinster and one there in North Wexford, close to where I was. They rolled through, and showers across the Midlands do push southwards, but they lose their intensity somewhat as the thermals die off and the sun gets lower in the sky and it cools off. And in the evening, the showers as a whole just die off and become confined to the east. And that's where we are now. So it's the UKV 5-day forecast. So you can see today very nicely that area of very heavy showers across the north and a few in the southeast and southwest. They clear eastwards tonight, and tonight ends up being a dry and clear night in the east, cloudy further west, and by morning the cloud does spread further eastwards, along with a few isolated showers. Into the morning, we see showers blossoming quite widely across the country, some heavy, with hail possible, and possibly a couple of strikes of lightning, especially across the east and northeast. And off into the evening, we see things drying off in the west, as a slight area of high pressure does sort of move in, killing off the showers. Into tomorrow night, a few showers do push into the west and northwest, and by morning they do turn heavier, and elsewhere it clouds over. But off the west coast, we see a sign of just a front pushing in. Thursday morning sees a band of heavy rain move into the west, or should I say a big wodge of it. It's not really a band; it's a big area. Moving across the country, heaviest and most persistent across the west and north country, but all areas at risk of rain and at risk of rain on Thursday, and it could be quite heavy. Off into Thursday night, we keep some heavy bursts keep going across the south and east, but elsewhere it dries off until I think the warm front moves northwards on Friday morning to reveal a very warm and humid day, and some showers and thunderstorms do form across North Connacht into Ulster into the afternoon, and possibly in Munster as well, and North Leinster, and they can be quite severe. And go off in Saturday morning. Now Friday night should be quite warm and humid and quite muggy. Saturday morning sees showers and thunderstorms moving up from the southwest. Some big storms there, especially across Wales there. Just moving into Wicklow and Dublin and Whitted as well. Into Saturday afternoon, they clear off to the north. But actually, at midday on Saturday, that was very heavy for the far northeast of Leinster and of course much of Ulster there. Really big torrential wads of rain and thunderstorms. That clears off, and further heavy thunderstorms push into the southwest. They move over Ireland, and Saturday night should be fresher than Friday night, but quite mild all the same, quite clear. And on Sunday itself, more showers and thunderstorms do break out in quite a warm, unstable air mass with low pressure. This is the temperature forecast from the UKV. So you can see today was quite a warmish day across the east, towards the high teens, but elsewhere low to mid teens. So quite cool actually. Then we're moving into tonight. So temperatures do drop down into single figures across the east of the country and across the north, but elsewhere it's about 10 or 11 degrees. Tomorrow sees temperatures rising to the high teens very widely, bar the west and north exposed to the westerly breeze, so more like mid-teens there. Off into tomorrow night, into Thursday, quite chilly across the southeast and north, temperatures around 10 degrees, but in the middle around 12 degrees. Pushing into Thursday itself, we see temperatures rising till around well, it depends on, like, what we see on Thursday is a warm front. So, ahead of the front, where we so the sunshine, it'll be warm. You can see that sort of wodge around the east on Thursday morning, getting up into the high teens, but then it gets pushed away, and the high teens go into the west after the warm front clears, and this wodge of cooler air with the warm front moves eastwards, and then the cold front does try and move in on Thursday night. You can see this warm air being swept away on Thursday nights, but still quite warm in the east. Cold front never really clears the east, but yet another warm front pushes northwards on Friday. You can sort of see that, Ray, can't you? That big boundary there pushes northwards, and Friday's a warm day, very humid. Low 20s very widely, apart from in the south. Moving off into Saturday morning, we see high teens in the east. Very warm night, by the way. Low 20s, especially where we don't have the rain and thunderstorms. You see it varies through the day, depending on where you have thunderstorms and rain. And then a very sharp front goes into the southwest in the afternoon. You see that massive gradient in temperatures, like 20 degrees here, but then just on the coast at 14. That'll be a very sharp cold front. Definitely with thunderstorms. And then Saturday night is quite chilly. After Sunday we have quite warm in the west and the south. Elsewhere, I'll say in the North Midlands, north and east, mid-teens. Finally, this is the final stage of the video. Looking at the charts, so you can see we're going through today and tomorrow. Winds are westerly. We see a few showers coming through, a few heavy ones. Thursday sees the area of low pressure to our west deepen, and fronts do move eastwards, bringing rain, but also milder air. And the wind goes southerly though into Friday, so a very muggy day. But with that low to our west, we drag up a very warm and humid wind with thundery stuff in the mix. Look at all of that stuff. Yeah, that's very volatile, warm and thundery there. It's the weekend. Winds up from the south, very warm air mass, but unstable. High cape levels, etc. Thermals rising everywhere. Low pressure, all the right ingredients for some thunderstorms. Pushing on, and the low pressure does move over us by July 10th. So it'll begin to cool down, but showers staying very intense even into next week. Stays there, doesn't it? Into July 13th, 14th. Winds go northwesterly around mid-July. And look at that. Into July 17th. We start to see high pressure just building in from the Azores. And it tries to do so, and I think it's actually quite successful in bringing dry weather, but not exactly warm weather. Winds are still westerly, but it's a drier sort of westerly winds, with high pressure in control. And as we go day by day, if this brings sunshine, and I say it will, especially for the south, temperatures will actually warm up day by day with homegrown heating. The heat just sort of builds on itself day by day. This is the ECM run. So today, winds are from the northwest with big showers around and thunderstorms. Winds back westerly tomorrow. So we see southwesterly winds moving in then, and into Thursday and Friday, winds back southerly, and we go very wet, windy, stormy, thundery, warm though, very warm and humid. That'd be the thing, and the low pressure just sort of stays to our west, dragging up the wind from the south, Bay of Biscay, so very warm and humid and thundery. That is one to watch. Could be very, very thundery, it has to be said. And then moving in towards mid-July, the low pressure sort of slips to the east, dragging down the northerly winds around the 13th, 14th of July. And by July 14th, low pressure to the northwest, and it looks like that one has a name on it with high pressure towards the Azores. The UK Met run looks like this. So we can see that low pressure is moving into us from the west into Thursday, quite deep with strong winds from the southwest, and we go very warm. Look at that. Let's look at the upper temperatures. That is like a big temperature contrast fueling that low pressure. We've got the 10 Celsius ice storm moving up, swamping the country. The plus 15 Celsius ice storm is across the UK, and the plus 5 Celsius ice storm is to our west. So that will fuel big thunderstorms as we go into July, mid-July. The GEM run is like this. So as we know, it's looking very volatile, thundery, etc. With all of that low pressure swamping the country, milling around. But July 14th does see a flimsy ridge from the Azores, and that may last into the end of July. This is the Icon run. You can see that again, that low pressure just moving from the southwest gives us a very stormy spell around the weekend, only next week, before it moves over us and goes cooler, but very, very wet and quite breezy. And finally, we conclude with the Arpège run, and you can see that it is much the same with that very severe low pressure moving in. Let's look at how hot it is with that. Yeah, so very big temperature gradients. So I say there'll definitely be thunder on that front. Definitely, there's no doubt about that. Surely not. So that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and bye for now.